Guys, I have not been feeling motivated at all recently. I think from all the excitement of the wedding and having all of our family around. Now coming back to real life, it's been really difficult to get back into any kind of routine. So today I thought it would be a good opportunity to talk about lost motivation when it comes to learning Portuguese. So this is so common. I have so many people come to me saying it was all going really well until X, Y, and Z got in the way, and now I don't know how to get started again. So today I'm going to give you my top tips for overcoming this. If you're excited to learn this today, give this video a like, and if you are not yet subscribed, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when I launch a new video every week. So first of all, let's just normalize falling off the bandwagon. It is okay to take a break. So there's a reason why sports tournaments happen in seasons, for example. Elite athletes, they can't keep go all the time. They have breaks, so you need one as well. Just like athletes run the risk of an injury when they work too hard, you are running the risk of going backwards in your learning because you're just overloading your brain with too many things. It does sometimes need time to just settle and absorb what it has learned. So if you need to take a break, just do it. So if you have taken a break and now you don't know how to get started again, my main advice is to make it fun. Sometimes the problem is that we just overwhelm ourselves with all of the complicated things that we need to learn, like I must have all of these verb conjugations memorized, for example. But in order to ease back into things, just pick something that you love. So if you are interested in cooking, for example, try a recipe in Portuguese or watch a cookery show and repeat the phrases that you know. This will make it fun and easy to get started again. If you love music, listen to some songs and dissect the lyrics, have a good sing-along. I actually have a whole video on how to do that here. I'll link it in the description. My guilty pleasures are soap operas, TV dramas, and Disney films. So when I feel like I can't be bothered to keep going and learning new things all the time, I stick one of those on and I really enjoy it. It doesn't feel like work. I can even do it in my pajamas. The next tip is make it a habit. By building some Portuguese into your day-to-day life, it is going to feel more like second nature and not like hard work. So some ideas that you could try: every time you are cooking or washing the dishes, listen to some Portuguese radio. Every time that you are scrolling on your social media feeds, make sure that you are following some Portuguese creators. If you always sit down and have a cup of coffee in the morning, make that your cue to get out your Portuguese flashcards and go through them for 10-15 minutes. Little and often is best. So if we set a time of day that we're going to be doing this, for example, 8:30 to 9:30 every morning is when I'm working on my Portuguese, it's easier to do it because it's often the little decisions that we make, like when am I going to fit it in and what is it that I'm going to do when I'm actually sitting down to do my Portuguese. By removing those things, it's actually easier for us to do it. So if I think, okay, every day at 8:30, I'm going to pull up the program that I'm a part of and just pick up where I left off, and that's the way I'm going to spend my hour in that morning. It is so much easier to make it a habit, do it consistently, and that is when you see great results. What are your habits for practicing Portuguese? I have made a couple of videos on this as well, so I will link them in the description if you haven't seen them yet. Leave your ideas in the comments as well so you can inspire everyone else. Another one of my key mantras when I am helping out my students because they're feeling hard on themselves is focusing on progress over perfection. Your Portuguese is not going to be perfect for a long time. That's just a fact that you need to accept. The sooner you get over that, the sooner you can keep making progress. This is because you need to actually speak, and if you're too worried about getting stuff wrong, you're never actually going to speak and you'll never get the chance to be corrected and to learn. We use the term failing fast in business, and that works here too. It really will accelerate your learning. Finally, if you really have lost the will to go on, go back to your why. What is your reason for learning? I recommend everybody does this when they start out. It was actually the first tip in my How to Learn Portuguese from Scratch video, because you need to have a goal that you are working towards. So if that's being able to speak to your Portuguese partner's family, then brainstorm some questions and get them on a Zoom call with a cup of tea. If you want to prepare for your next trip to Portugal, plan your itinerary, start getting excited and list out some questions that you want to ask your neighbours. or get on a website like Preply or italki where you can set up regular conversation practice. There really are lots of Portuguese people out there who are ready to chat. So just remember that you are doing it for a good reason and the success is going to feel so good. Whatever your reasons for stopping, starting again doesn't have to suck if you follow these tips. I hope you now feel energized to give it another go. Let me know in the comments how you're going to go about it, and I'll be back next week with more tips and tutorials to improve your European Portuguese. Ciao for now.